Hello everyone, welcome to the Big Cat Ethercast, the show where we talk about Final Fantasy, and I've already done this bit, haven't I?
Yes, you have, and we're not doing Final Fantasy today. We're doing something we haven't done since our old YouTube channel.
Yeah, this may be unusual for you all, but we used to talk about Pokemon a lot.
Yes, we talked about Pokemon an incessant amount when there were three of us.
Yeah, better days.
Better days.
But, so we didn't do one. I would say we didn't do one for Legends Arceus when it came out. In part because it was kind of controversial still.
Yeah, it was a little controversial. We weren't sure how to really go about it, and I kind of want to go back to doing more Pokemon content.
Mm-hmm.
At least when we can. I do want to maybe do Let's Plays of maybe Scarlet and Violet and...
Sword and Shield.
Well, I've done Sword and Shield.
Yes, but now you can actually do it with it running on a decent frame rate.
Yeah, that's true. I could, and there's also
the fact that you can now do it with the hindsight of the DLCs active.
That is true as well.
Which it's very different completing the game versus having those two active concurrently. Because my understanding is that while the trainer battles are not synced, the wild Pokemon still are. At least to a minor degree. If you find one of those nasty surface ones, you're still going to get fucked.
Yeah, but that's for later. For now, we are talking about Legends ZA. This is something that we have not This is kind of weird. X and Y was kind of around the time that we kind of started our whole Legend Hunters gimmick, didn't we?
It is after that. It also is when there's a noticeable change in the way that Pokemon was produced. See, prior to that, I forgot what his name, Masada. Masada was the primary director behind the game's design and appearance, to the extent that he basically had a stranglehold on the way that the product came out.
To the point, for better or worse, it could almost be detrimental to how he ran it.
But because he was the one, he took over from Generation 3 to Generation 5, which for a lot of people is considered the Masuda, yeah, because it's named at he was the one who also did the shiny method, which is named after him. Anyway, Masuda was the lead designer, and he directed Generations 3 through 5.
Right.
Which is the entire golden age for everyone who plays Pokemon on a more fundamental level, not counting Gen 1ers.
Yeah, because if you know of any ROM hacks, you know that they basically base them off of any of the Gen 3 to Gen 5 games.
Right. And so really the design, the philosophy, everything was incredibly tight, and many people consider that to be the golden age as it is. That being said, after Generation 5, a executive command was made that he was no longer allowed to solely be designed, and it became more open up to committee, which is why we got a lot of more interesting designs, but that also led to a lot more variance in terms of hits and misses.
Yeah, and X and Y while it was also the start of 3D Pokemon, it was also a bit of a miss in terms of story and characters and
features. This was the noticeable first time that we hadn't had the Battle Frontier as we knew them, nor any kind of replacement.
It was also the first time that we didn't have a third game in the trilogy.
Right. Instead, we started going to simply binary games, and then it led to what we have, the DLC system now, and that's a whole other can of worms.
Some people like the DLC system, some people hate it.
A lot of people think that it's an excuse for them to go ahead and milk people for money.
I mean, I don't blame them, but then again, that was also what the third game was in general.
True, but then you at least had the sort of foundation that, hey, the third game would at least be worth it because you got a whole game out of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But mainly the main reason a lot of people gave flack for Gen 6 was lack of character and the overall wishy-washiness of its Pokemon roster. We weren't exactly in the loom of Gate decks yet, but definitely we were starting to see a reduction of new Pokemon being entered into the region.
In fact, I believe Gen 6 still holds the record for the least amount of new Pokemon introduced in a generation.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of upsetting.
But I think that
it's also the fact that they were starting to learn how to do 3D animation, which kind of also hindered their progress.
Right. Although, if there's one interesting thing to go ahead and point out, was that this was the first entry in which we had swarm battles, I believe.
Swarm battles, yeah.
So which would kind of, in effect, be sort of a predecessor to the Arceus system in which you would fight multiple Pokemon at once.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I really hadn't put those two together before, but I can kind of see that.
But I guess we both actually enjoyed the game despite somewhat the lukewarm reception that it's gotten.
I will be perfectly honest. The backstory of like AZ and all that stuff did bring me to fucking tears.
Yeah, I mean, this was also Pokemon has always had the dark side to it, and I think between Kyurem basically causing a cataclysmic event in Unova, and the very first fucking mention of the Pokemon War back in Gen 1, Gen 6 actually had some of the darkest lore that we've had in a while, and it's been the first time we've actually got to see it.
Yes.
So a quick recap. In X and Y, we are told that 3,000 events prior to the game, there is a massive Pokemon war which resulted in the ultimate weapon being fired, involving some version of the title starter, either Xerneas, the Pokemon embodiment of life, or Yveltal, the embodiment of death.
To be perfectly clear, let me set the record straight. The weapon originally was used to bring back AZ's little Floette, and in order to do that, he had sacrificed the lives of countless Pokemon. That's the reason for the statues around Geosenge Town.
Mm-hmm. But it required the use of both Pokemon, both Xerneas and Yveltal, to make these tricks happen.
I believe so. Don't quote us on that.
Because eventually, the weapon does get fired.
It does get fired as an actual weapon,
which is what leads to not just AZ's Floette spurning him, but also incidentally turning AZ into an immortal, in which the man cannot die and has been forced to walk the world for 2,500 years?
It was 3,000.
3,000 years since...
Because the meme is, it's been 3,000 years.
For 3,000 years before the events of X and Y.
Mm-hmm.
And thus, we come to the events of X and Y, in which Lysander, the head of Team Y, seeks to go ahead
Team Flare.
Tries to preserve the beauty of the world by eliminating a bunch of folks that don't need to be in it.
Basically, he was thinking that the more Pokemon and people that fill the world, there's going to be more competition, which will lead to war and strife and destruction and ugliness. And so he decides to go the genocide route.
Right, the genocide culling route, and then uses his connections as well as rich person patronage in order to amass the funds necessary to carry out this research.
I mean, wasn't it like $3 million to be a member of Team Flare?
3 million Poké Dollars to get into the doors, yes.
Yeah.
But nonetheless...
Why would you pay $3 million to look like a fucking orange fop?
I don't know. We should ask the people who own Cybertrucks.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Nonetheless, the player character and his ragtag band of scoundrels manage to go ahead and foil Flare's plans. They avert the firing of the ancient weapon and manage to go ahead and initially free the legendary Pokemon that are being used in its powerment.
And Lysandra, in his throes of defeat, threatens to say, we shall live for eternity to see this world you so wish to see. Because the kids are saying, a better world is possible without what you're doing. And he says, okay, bet.
And at least the last time we saw him, he was getting destroyed by his own weapon.
Destroyed by the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, because we basically left his ass in the crumbling laboratory room, if I recall right.
Right. So we don't know if he survived or not. We'll get to that.
Nonetheless, our intervention brings AZ to we cross paths with AZ throughout several times in the story, but by the end, we have one final battle with him, and at the end, his Floette, seeing that humanity has sort of learned its lesson from AZ's side, reconciles with him, and thus the meme got spawned.
Yes.
So that is the events of everything up to ZA, because ZA takes place canonically 5 years after the events of X and Y.
And it starts off with our main character entering Lumio City and
watching a streamer who we will eventually get to, but we also get flashbacks from a Zygarde cell.
Yeah, a Zygarde cell basically hitches a ride onto our character's backpack.
And so the Zygarde basically apparently the Zygarde cell had basically seen at some point that something strange was going on in Lumino City, and that there were trainers trying to go ahead and intervene, but that they would need to find the strongest Mega Evolved user in order to solve the problem. Which leads our little cell to finding us, and thus beginning our adventure within Lumios.
Yeah, and so
we're not actually told, we never actually really give a reason that we're coming to Lumios, other than, you know what, I need a vacation, we're getting away from all the nonsense.
Maybe we're just moving in.
Who knows, but what we do know is that we are fresh off the train, and we run into
Tawny or Urbane.
So, a lot of people have thoughts about Tawny and Urbane. I am being one of them. And to be honest, I don't think I've felt hatred towards a rival character since Trace.
Really?
In terms of their annoyance. Granted, nothing is this split.
Wait, Trace is from the Let's Go game.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I find Tawny and Urbane to be a Class A dumbass.
Remind me, did you play as a male trainer or a female trainer?
Female, so I got Urbane.
So, okay. And I played male trainer, so I got Tawny. So both of them are serve as your intro character, or as well as your rival,
as well as giving you your starter Pokemon.
They basically the way that your introduction meets is that they are gonna agree to help you out and give you a lay of the land, and incidentally, your bag gets stolen by a random Pancham.
Mm-hmm.
You go chase them down. Tawny and Urbane agree to loan you one of their Pokemon, which is where you get your starter lineup: Tepig, Chikorita, or Totodile.
I chose Totodile.
I went with Tepig.
Yep.
And so you basically get a quick tutorial introduction with Tawny, who basically explains, yeah, you can move around, and your Pokemon actually have to position themselves for attacks.
Yeah, and all moves now are on cooldown, which means speed stat is different now, in that speed affects your cooldown rate rather than the speed of your Pokemon.
Now, so it works in a simplified manner because people have actually done time tests for this. Generally, unless you're either playing with high-speed Pokemon naturally, you have the IVs for them, and you're using a speed positive or a speed negative nature, you're not going to see that frame buff or debuff distinctly. You will have situations in which your Pokemon will lash out first, or you'll have trades because they're in the same speed tier, but you will not. It's not as simple as my Pokemon has this much. It's on an individual basis, not necessarily by the actual speed ranks in the way that you would conventionally use in a Pokemon game.
Which is interesting. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I like the battle system. It's a little too quick for my taste.
It's snappier. So here's the thing. It's snappier than Legends because you're not forced to target individual Pokemon. You can target, but the biggest thing that ZA has, area of effect.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot tell you how big of a difference that is. That one earthquake can kill 5 Pokemon surrounding you when you get bullshitted in certain wild areas.
Yeah, that is pretty fun.
And that also does in the ranked battle system because you don't really have double battles that often.
Right.
Or battles with multiple parties. So it goes by much faster. You basically, when you're in a wild area or the trainer zones, you basically have your Pokemon out, and as long as they're out, you are free game. What's interesting is that the damage system does come back. It only matters for purposes of wild battles or for the boss battles, which we'll talk about later on. But you can go ahead and slap a trainer silly in a trainer battle, but it won't actually down them.
Right.
I was kind of annoyed that did not become a thing as much as people thought about that.
Yeah. There's something I really want to kind of point out. Later on, you have battles where you're dealing with Mega Evolved Pokemon, and they will target you.
Yes.
What I wish is that you had a damage meter on how hurt you were.
Yeah,
instead of the fucking gradient around
the lack of a health bar really fucking sucks, and has always been a problem. My other problem with the system, it has only become an issue for me personally in one specific scenario, and that is a late game wild area in which you are fucked if you do not deal with the threats right away.
Area 17, everyone.
Oh god, the otherwise known as Pyroar Fight Club.
Yeah,
but
the Pyroar Pride.
Oh, don't get me started on that joke. Anyway, the battle mechanics are much tighter. You also get what's called plus moves. Instead of being able to do agile or strong style with your attacks, instead, plus moves will deal more damage against mega Pokemon, and they build up your mega meter quicker.
Well, actually, no. When you have your mega meter full, when you press the plus on a plus move, it will expend one of those energy bars and use the move.
Okay.
That's how a plus move works. If your Pokemon is already Mega Evolved, the plus moves are already plus.
Everything is already plussed.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So, yeah. If you have a Pokemon that can't Mega Evolve and you're using it against a rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon, you build up your bar and then you use the
plus meter to go ahead and activate the plus moves.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But still...
I did not know about that until post-game.
Well, we both skipped over that kind of quickly, so...
Well, the thing is, it tells you in the loading screens, but if you have the Switch 2 version of the game, the loading screens are so instant you can't even read it.
Right. Still, I'm pretty sure it's in the tourist tips, but either way, the point is that the battle system's much more fluid, much more snappy. Items are on cooldown, so don't expect to be spamming them every other turn, which puts a priority on decent team building, because you cannot revive your way through tough battles if you're caught unprepared.
Either that, or pray to God you have a lot of max revives like I did for the final boss.
I'm surprised you had difficulty with that, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Well, I think it was because I didn't know how to handle the area of effect stuff.
Okay, that might be... I think you and I will have discussions about that. Anyway, we go ahead and after we do our initial counter, time passes, because time is also a system in this game, and it's nighttime, which basically Tawny and Urbane explain that the tournament to find the strongest trainer in Lumio City is going on, and
the ZA Royale.
And it operates on Battle Royale rules. If you are caught within a battle zone, you are free game. And you get taught this immediately, because as you're trying to escape the area, three trainers are basically cock-blocking the door and basically challenge you and Tawny to a fight right away.
In comes AZ's
Floette,
who sees that this is an issue and decides to go and launch a fucking nuke laser.
The Light of Ruin attack. So, a lot of people are so happy to see that this Pokemon is actually in-game and is actually catchable. But we won't get into how that happens first. But you can be assured that Light of Ruin is still in the game, and boy, howdy does it hurt.
It does indeed, but the Floette saves us, and we go ahead and make our way to Tawny and Urbane's, or should I say, AZ's hotel, Hotel Z.
We should mention that no trainers were harmed in the use of Light of Ruin.
They just shat their pants.
They got the warning. It was a warning shot that went over their heads, and they all immediately turned. Yeah, I don't want none of that.
Yeah, no, we're not high enough rank to deal with this shit.
But we go ahead. We are welcomed into Hotel Z, to which Tawny explains that they are part of Team MZ, which is their own little club.
Which stands for Mega Evolution Hotel Z.
Yes, but that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's a fucking dumb name, I'll be perfectly honest.
We are allowed to go ahead and stay with AZ, who's more than happy to loan us a room, provided that we help out with Team MZ's plan. And Tawny promises that they will explain what that is tomorrow once we go ahead and we get acquainted.
Yeah. And when we do that, we also get acquainted to two other members of Team MZ, Lita and Naveen.
Oh, these two. So immediately my thoughts were coming together like, okay, these are our replacements for Trevor, Tierno, and Shauna. And boy, howdy, are they better than the three of them.
Oh, yeah. Although it's funny because Lita is literally Tierno's little sister.
Yeah, she hints in her backstory that she came to Lumios to be a dancer on scholarship, but didn't have enough funds to have a place to stay, which is where she ran into Tanya and Urbane, who offered her a spot at Hotel Z.
And Naveen is a wannabe fashion designer whose grandmother did not like that he was spending his time doing commissions for art, and basically threw out his sewing machine.
Did that hit a little too close to home for you?
I mean, my parents actually support my artistic endeavors, so...
But it still hurts to see that happen to a fellow artist.
Yes, it does.
Naveen is also deadpan as a motherfucker.
Deadpan and has a distinct disdain for Tawny and Urbane's cooking.
So, I will tell you, I have seen the French Pokemon fandom react to that scene in which the party is given croissant curry. And every single Frenchman was like, this is an abomination. She needs to be thrown in jail.
Fuck the Japanese.
Fuck the Japanese. So, absolutely 100% accurate. And as Naveen is considered the only native-born Lumiosian within Team MZ, this totally tracks.
Yeah, although, to be honest, I'm kind of tempted to try it.
Yeah, no, but because we're weeaboos and we will not pass up anything. And as a Mexican who is used to having fried tortilla chips before a meal, have tortillas during the meal alongside rice, I do not give a shit about my carbs. If it is tasty, I will be eating it.
I mean, fair enough.
Lita, surprisingly, is actually, despite coming off a bit of a ditz, she actually is considered quite mature, as she is the one who is leading the team meetings, even though Tanya and Urbane are the team leaders for Team MZ.
Also, she has some of the funniest facial expressions of the group.
She absolutely is the unfortunate team mom before we showed up.
Yeah.
And you know how you, like in Persona, where it's like, how the fuck did you guys make so little progress until I showed up? Like, we can see how little progress they made until we showed up, because Lita was the most responsible out of the three of them.
I think they were at most rank X by the time we showed up.
And even then, still, yikes.
Yeah.
But Lita does have a heart of gold, and Naveen does actually mean well, despite him being sarcastic little fuck 9 times out of 10.
I relate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we're basically shown what is going on within Luminos, as since about 2 or 3 years ago, wild Pokemon have actually been converging onto the city in mass.
Which has resulted in Quasartico Inc. developing basically wild areas for Pokemon to live in to help humans and Pokemon kind of coalesce and cooperate and intermingle.
But the thing is that basically the construction of a wild zone can happen overnight. It uses holotech technology, basically the same thing that made the holovisors accessible in X and Y. Basically, it's now evolved to the point where it's hardlight technology. So basically, the Pokemon are stuck within their realm and can't break out. However, if you just so happen to, say, I don't know, live or go to work in an area that has been since declared by a wild zone,
you're shit out of luck.
You're shit out of luck, which is frustrating to the various people within Lumio City.
What are the odds that it's all the low-income housing?
You're reading into it.
The homeless bench, the anti-homeless benches make me think this.
Oh, trust me. Being an adult Pokemon fan is rife for conspiracy. But in addition to the hard light safety zones, they also use this technology to basically cordon off battle zones at night. So the idea is catch Pokemon during the day, and then when you want to scrap, go do some battles at night.
That's pretty much the case, and with that, we basically get recruited into Team MZ.
Well, we also think that it's quite a lot of fun kicking ass with Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so we're given basic introductions about catching Pokemon, about doing the trainer battles at night.
Yeah, we go through the long, 3-hour-long introduction.
But eventually the reins do come off and you can start to explore the city at your leisure.
There's side quests to do. Oh, we should also mention that at this point we have been introduced to another character, Emma.
Emma is a returning character from XY's DLC, which involves...
Well, it's their post-game.
Post-game, which is effectively their DLC.
Yeah.
Which involved a side story in which Looker was investigating into the remnants of Team Flare, and in the process meets a young teenage girl named Emma who's homeless. And also a subject of Team MZ's brainwashing.
Not Team MZ.
Team Flare's brainwashing program.
Yeah.
As she was, what was her name? Code name?
Essentia.
Essentia, which was basically an attempt to brainwash and genetically train sleeper agents, basically that they could activate at will. Emma being one of them.
Yeah, she was basically being programmed and brainwashed by Dr. Zorosik of Team Flare.
Right.
Which is funny because apparently, she is on good terms with Dr. Zorosik now.
Apparently,
if you actually look in her
office,
there's a picture of
Mimi with
Mimi the Esper hanging out with Looker and Dr. Zorosik. So apparently things have gotten better because also Emma's main Pokemon later on is Dr. Zorosik's Malamar, which is fucking weird.
Well, I'll continue to talk about Emma, then we'll talk about the other person from Team Flare that we know about. Emma also apparently wears a shortened version of Looker's jacket over her Essentia costume, which is... There is a lot of fan art of Emma in that outfit, and it's definitely the Mr. Incredible, if you know horror face meme, because she's basically going around... Everyone's the teehee flaunting in the bodysuit. No, she is wearing a bodysuit that was designed to hurt her if she did not conform with Team Flare's plans.
Which means the suit probably got remodified somehow.
Well, it has to, considering that the new model has more curves than she probably had as a teenager.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
The fan art speaks for itself.
The fan art speaks for itself. It's either showing her as buff under that suit, or showing her fat ass.
Yeah. Pokemon fandom is weird.
Pokemon fandom is horny, although they're not as weird as the NPCs of Lumio City.
No, we have to talk about the other person before we get to them.
Fair enough.
During this process, we're also asked to go talk to the acting professor of the Pokemon laboratory in Lumio City, who is not Professor Sycamore, because he is on sabbatical with Trevor, as they are apparently sojourning around the various nations. It is in fact Mabel.
If you don't know who Mabel is, I don't blame you. She was one of the 4 admins of Team Flare.
Yes, and she was in fact one of the ones who was working with Zeromic on various projects. The reason she's here is because she's basically working off her parole.
Pretty much. She's basically got like an ankle monitor on her or something.
She literally admits to taking a plea deal, which I was not expecting that to come out. But
you as a lawyer,
well, that implies Pokemon courts.
Yeah.
She was tried for war crimes, and she basically cooperated for a lighter punishment.
That is so fucking funny when you think about it.
That is so fucking horrifying. Because that means there's Pokemon war crimes. Anyway.
Go on.
She basically goes ahead and assigns you tasks to aid in her research, which involve capturing, evolving, training, and battling with your Pokemon, and she will give you various TMs, items, and upgrades, culminating
in the shiny
charm. Once you have completed over 1,000 trainer battles.
I've managed to get that.
I have not yet. But it is a long slog, as anyone will tell you. However...
They're making you work for your shiny charm now.
Not only that, not only are the Pokemon fans horny, the Pokemon developers are horny.
Because apparently her model has fully rendered feet.
Why? Why? Now we can talk, because apparently everyone else is also drinking from the same bathwater, because they have... So, one of the things that's important to note is that the Pokemon games' attitudes are all based off of the time in which they're made. Specifically, the reason things are so lighthearted in the 1990s, when Gen 1 and Gen 2 came out, is because they were reflective of the generational attitudes towards Pokemon at the time.
Yeah.
Or the world in a whole. By this point in the franchise, they have fully said, okay, it would be modern times by now. We're going to go ahead and channel the same energy Twitter has into our NPCs.
Yeah, because let's see. One of them talked about if a Pokemon that uses water type moves is using their sweat or their spit.
Which everyone knows is the third kind of fluid.
Oh god damn it!
People have said, "Oh goody, unfortunately it's another day I have not been reincarnated into a Pokemon,"
which is a fucking mood.
Which either says that they are talking about Pokemon Therians or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon exists as a story within the Pokemon universe.
Either way, mood.
Let me see. Why can't I just crawl into a Pokeball like my Pokemon do?
Mood.
Why can't... Is it weird that I want to sniff my Pokemon?
Weird, but
not illegal.
Squeezing Pokeballs makes me feel good.
Again, weird, but not illegal.
Life is an eternity, and we are only able to exist in the moment.
Okay, too existential. Let's get back to the funny, horny business.
Yeah, that... And by the way, that was a little kid saying that.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, dude... What's your house life like? And do I need to call social services?
Yeah, no, there is some weird fucked up shit in this game. Just literally, if you are bored, go talk to a bunch of trainers and figure out what the hell's going on.
It's kind of a fucking trip, and you know what? I'm all for Pokemon getting a little weird with the NPCs.
A little weird with the NPCs?
Okay, a lot weird.
Yes. So the initial gimmick is that it's a battle tourney royale. And you have to level up from rank Z all the way to rank A. And that's the gimmick we're initially sold on.
You basically do a whole bunch of battles in the battle zones in order to accumulate points to get a challenger's ticket. And when you get the challenger's ticket, you are assigned a trainer to fight for your promotion match, so to speak.
Yes, think of it as doing fighting game tournaments in which you have to have so many belt matches under your belt before you can rank up. You fight 4 no-name trainers, basically just generic NPCs.
Yeah,
they aren't specially modeled or anything, but they are your initial promotion matches.
They do tell you what their wishes are because if you manage to get to rank A, Quasartico Inc., the people who are running the ZA Royale, will offer a wish within reason.
Right, and so, for example...
Zach the driver wants to remove all other vehicles except taxis.
So that way no Go-Goat shuttles.
No Go-Goat shuttles, no other cars, just taxis.
Yvonne, the office worker, wants to make it so that way the opposite. There is no taxis, so that way everyone has to walk everywhere because she's an avid power walker.
Yes. I don't remember what Zabby the grade schooler wanted.
I think he just wanted to show off because he's a little kid. But
Rintaro the waiter wanted to increase the notoriety and star rating of his restaurant.
Yes, he wants to be a 3-star establishment because he works at Restaurant Lena, which is a 1-star establishment.
Nah.
However, after doing 4 of these encounters, Tawny and Urbane get a distress signal from Vinny, who is effectively their contact at Quasartico, who says that that they receiving strange energy signals and they need to investigate.
At this time, our main character is following a strange black and green dog that Emma has been on the track for.
Right.
And so we follow it, and it leads us to a Pokemon that is suffering from Mega Power.
So what we're told that ever since the redevelopment of the Lumiose Tower, Pokemon, in addition to the Pokemon gathering around Lumiose City, certain Pokemon have started to go berserk. Pokemon who can Mega Evolve are actually getting overburdened with Mega Power and becoming rogue Megas in evolution. It seems like this green dog is on the trail of that, and we are led to go ahead and confront the rogue Mega, which is an Absol. However, Tawny is too far away and can't get there in time, but AZ happens to be there but can't fight. So he loans us a Lucario to use to go ahead and deal with the rogue Mega.
Fun fact, this Lucario originally belonged to the main trainer of X and Y, as it was gifted to him from Karina.
Yes.
But that's something that we discover later, but I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's cool.
And it will be relevant for the DLC. Either way, we managed to go... You get into the rogue Mega battle, which is very reminiscent to the contests from the original Legends that you would have to go ahead and fight a wild Pokemon gone berserk. In contrast to those fights where you were basically throwing powders at them to calm them down and then entered into a conventional battle, you're doing this off the freestyle. You're basically following patterns, avoiding their attacks, while also hitting them with your moves and using your Mega Evolution to go ahead and do extra damage.
Which, excuse me, which is pretty fun. I think they've actually kind of perfected what they were trying to do in Legends Arceus.
Yes. They do get stunned if you hit them with enough super effective attacks, which gives you an opening, and they drop Mega Power energy for you to pick up to hypercharge your Mega Ring quickly. So that way you can go ahead and activate Mega Evolution or Plus moves.
Which is pretty fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I kind of dislike about the Mega Battles, but I honestly feel like they're very, very fun.
Individually, they all work because for the most part, they're using just normal moves, which once you've seen the moves, you understand how it works and how to dodge them. The thing that gets not weird but interesting is at certain breakpoints in their health, they will start to do MMO style boss attacks. Which, if you've played, Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO strategy greatest MMO of all time, you will recognize these patterns and understand how to counter them.
My favorite being when you fight Mega Frostlass, in which it summons giant rocks, giant ice crystals that you have to get behind, a la like fighting the fucking behemoth.
Yep. There's also...
and also, if people haven't played ZA yet, I'm going to give you a tip. If the boss is doing a big charge-up energy move that's going to affect the whole area, recall your Pokemon and get yourself to safety. Yes. That way your Pokemon will not fucking die.
Yeah, there's two attacks. If it's a purple charge-up attack, withdraw your Pokemon, get the fuck out, because that means that it's an area it's in a pattern, but it's dodgeable as long as you're not in front of the damn thing. If it is yellow, it means that you can DPS rush to interrupt it, which is actually the gimmick for Hawlucha.
Yeah.
And I think one other Pokemon also shares that gimmick, but for the most part, recall your Pokemon, get back the fuck up is the general strategy when they're doing those charge-up moves. Nonetheless, you defeat or capture the Mega Absol. AZ recognizes your potential as a Mega Pokemon user and goes ahead and commends you for your progress.
It is then that we get contacted by Vinny, after all of this, who says, you dealt with a Mega Pokemon, didn't you?
Right.
Did you defeat it?
Yes.
Fantastic! You can help us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I was thinking Quasartico was going to be a fucking villain in this thing. They aren't.
They aren't. They are a generally well-meaning group of renovators who are basically trying to rebuild the city after the nonsense that occurred 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Including the redesigns to Lumio's Tower. Vinny, who comes off as sort of the stiff, suck-up bodyguard that you would expect, actually is kind of a big softy.
He's a big softy, and he goes ahead and say, since you know how to use Mega Evolved Pokemon, why don't we go ahead and expedite your growth through the rankings of ZA.
Well, he wants us to go ahead and he wants to know whether or not he wants to test us to see whether.
Well, or not he wants to test us to see if we have what it takes
to continue fighting Mega Pokemon, and in doing so, he'll reward us with a massive jump in our rank.
Yes,
and so we're also given at this point the Mega Stone for your starter. Mm-hmm. I believe.
Yeah. I think at first, it's not until we get to rank F that we get the Mega Stone.
Okay.
But at this point, we only have Mega Absol.
Okay.
To use, which I ended up using for the entire time of my game because
me too.
I like Absol.
Yeah, it is actually really good Pokemon, and the physical types do tend to have a faster cooldown than special attackers.
Yeah, and Absol in general has a whole bunch of different moves it can learn. I had to have a flying type move, I had a fairy type move, I had a fighting and a dark type move.
Yeah, it has a very good widespread, and you can buff its attack with Sword Stance if need be.
Yes. So, actually, let's quickly talk about, what was your team?
So my team, Greninja, Embar, Gardevoir, Absol, Pidgeot, and then Venusaur.
So you went with quite a few starters. I went with Feraligatr, Gardevoir, Absol, Ampharos, Aggron, and Chandelure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will also say that both of us did pre-order, so both of us did get the Gardevoir early, because otherwise it does take you a good chunk of time before you can actually get a Ralts legit.
Yeah, but otherwise, well, anyway, we go ahead and fight Vinny properly, and he introduces us to a brand new Mega Pokemon.
Yes, Mega Drampa.
Which I was not expecting Drampa to get a Mega.
Yeah, I was not either, but it definitely needed one. I definitely think it was a great choice to give it a Mega.
Yeah, and its design is really cool. Apparently, it becomes young again.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder, when you hatch a Drampa out of an egg, it's an old man already.
Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button.
Yes. How do you explain Kangaskhan being born with a newborn in itself?
God, Pokemon is weird sometimes.
Sometimes.
There needs to be a pre-evolution that is just the baby Kangaskhan.
There is. It's called Cubone.
Oh God, no! Not that theory.
We're not gonna go over that theory. That's old news. But anyway, Vinny gets impressed by your potential, and Tawny also gets the same challenge, and both of you get past Vinny's expectations. Not only are both of you basically approved by Quasartigo to go hunt down Rogue Megas, but also you get a massive jump in rank from what would be S to basically F.
Actually, we were ranked V to
V to F,
which is, it's kind of funny just seeing the letters go up, and our character just goes, huh, ooh,
yes.
Hey,
yep, the massive power jump.
Yeah. By the way, I think it's funny that freaking Vinny has a little Baneri on his team.
But he has a Baneri and a Pancham in his hair.
Yeah.
As sort of his hair buns. It is hinted later on in dialogue that he has a young-ish daughter. Not exactly how young, but I wouldn't doubt that those are presents from her.
Yeah. I'm actually... There are theories that Shauna might be Vinny's dad.
Under which case...
I mean, Vinny's dad...
Vinny is Shauna... Vinny is Shauna's dad.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes. But that's not been really confirmed, although Shauna having a Megalopunny does make sense.
Yeah.
The other thing that we were going to bring up was, as we go up in the ranks, more and more wild areas begin getting approved, which is how they limit the amount of Pokemon you can encounter in this game. You can't just go wander around the city and find all the Pokemon you want. You can only go to wild areas will spawn up over time as you rank up.
Yeah.
Additionally, certain Pokemon only appear in the rooftops, which are only accessible as you complete side stories, which unlock those areas.
Yeah, and so during this game, whenever a significant amount of progress is made, usually like 2 or 3 cutscenes, there's usually like 3 or 4 more quests that pop up.
Yes.
I would go out of my way to do every single one.
Yes.
All of them. And I was like, oh, good, I finished. Time to do more progress. Okay, I did one little thing in the progress. What do you mean 3 more quests popped up?
Yep.
What do you mean 3 more quests popped up?
And these side quests include anything from, hey, we've unlocked the ability for you to go ahead and get Furfrou cuts, to, oh, here's a free Kalos starter for you, so that way you don't have to work. You can go ahead and have it for your Pokedex.
Yes. I kind of like that the Chespin was just like angrily fighting a taxi the whole time.
Yes.
And
there's also one in which you get a Froakie by beating its time running up various Racine construction parkour courts.
Which are all over the map of Lumiose.
These parkour courses basically test your platforming ability and are being run by Racine Construction owned by Tarragon, whose granddaughter is Canary.
Our next opponent.
Who is a electric-type streamer girl. Wait, haven't we already had one of those?
In the same generation as well.
Yes, she's you basically can consider her the gamer girl version of Iono's VTuber Sona.
Yeah. Because Iono is a VTube variety streamer.
Yes.
Canary is a hardcore gamer, complete with using the gamer words.
Yes. And we also find out that poor old Naveen is a tier 3 simp.
Yes, he is. And that does color my image of him quite negatively.
You mean the fact that he's probably spending his hard-earned commission money on tier 3 subs and probably has a body pillow in his room? No, I will not go and explain further.
No. Well, he does have the little plushie after we beat Canary.
Well, we'll get into that, but Naveen explains after we fight him, because he will not betray his Oshi unless we can prove that we are the superior trainer,
which we do.
That Canary only doesn't make public appearances, but that if you were to go ahead and win her quiz off, that you could probably ask her for a promotion match.
And so Naveen basically gives us an earpiece so he can talk into our ear and tell us everything we need to know to basically win the quiz off, because he's been he's
an OG fan.
He's an OG fan from day one, so he knows everything about Canary. And so when we go into the quiz off, we go and basically mop the floor with everyone.
Right. To which basically Canary's like, all right, if you really want me to go ahead and beat you up that badly, go to Racine Construction if you want to battle. Upon which we do so, meet with her grandpa Tarragon, who again runs the construction company, and find out that he's actually the one who's hosting the live events while Canary's doing her game streams.
He's basically made a holographic model of Canary that he has rigged he has motion captured to his body
and perfectly mimicked his granddaughter's movements, so that way no one could tell that he's been duping them all.
He's been doing it this whole time.
That is some Sam Reich level of nonsense.
It is kind of funny to be.
It is absolutely funny to see this short grandpa literally straighten up his back and do the Oshi symbol for his granddaughter.
Yeah.
It is.
By the way, he is a ground type user.
Naveen does hint at the fact that something happened with Canary's parents, which is why Tarragon is so. Not only does he take care of Canary, but also why he's so devoted to making sure that her dreams come true.
Yeah, and which is honestly pretty sweet when you think about it.
He is a ground type specialist, and so he does pop out his Mega Excadrill to go ahead and lay the smackdown on you.
And Mega Excadrill, the drill that will pierce the heavens.
It is a massive fucking dork of a Pokemon, but it looks absolutely fantastic.
It is also one of the biggest threats in the online verse.
We'll talk about that near the end.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, you beat Tarragon, so he acknowledges your strength and tells Canary you actually have to fight this one.
Yes. And so Canary, we fight her, and we fight her Mega Electros, because that is her Mega.
So, one of the things I should mention about the Legends battle system, which we haven't done that yet, is Pokemon do not have abilities anymore.
No, it's the same as in Legends Arceus. Pokemon do not have abilities.
Correct, but both you and I have conveniently forgotten it up until this point, because Canary's ace is an Electros, which under normal Pokemon rules
it has an immunity to
ground type attack.
To ground type attack
because of Levitate. That does not exist, which a surprise to everyone when Earthquake hits you. Huh. How about that?
That makes me wonder if I wonder what Mega Electros' ability will be in the future.
If it ever gets released.
That's true. Well, it's going to get released because of Pokemon Champions.
That is a good point, though it may not necessarily backtrack. Remember, Pokemon ZA, Pokemon Company has already said, any Pokemon in ZA, don't get out. And any Pokemon that... you cannot bring any Pokemon into ZA either.
Huh.
It's almost its self-isolated sphere, unless they are just waiting until they've sorted out all the details.
I'm willing to bet it's just until they sort out the details.
We'll see, because
I know you can't take any of them out into Pokemon Bank yet at the moment, but that was also the same case with Legends Arceus.
Right.
You weren't able to do that until much later.
Right. Although Arceus, you could transfer them to the other games, and they would actually have abilities.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure what the situation with that is.
Well, we'll find out.
We also know that for some reason you can get a Galar Slowpoke in the game, and subsequently one of its Evos.
Yes, you can't get both. You have to pick one. I chose Slowking.
Right. Although apparently you probably can catch. There might be Galarian Slowpoke in Hyper Lumiose.
That might be the case.
Which might allow you to go ahead and get both. But anyway, back to Kanari. Kanari crashes out like a typical game, like the actual gamer girl she is would expect, by being the first Pokemon character to swear.
She called me a slur.
I would not be surprised.
She said the F word to me.
She said the F word to you.
That's my canonical thought.
Canonically, she calls everyone slurs.
Yes.
And then she calms down, and then she properly commends you for beating her and gives you a TM.
Yes.
But yeah.
So here's something that we should talk about now. Every trainer from now on is part of a group, so to speak. And the groups are actually two different types. For Kanari, Team Dynamo, it's ground and electric.
And the type pairing always has one typing that will always resist the other. In this case, Terragon's ground types will always resist Kanari's electric.
What's more, it's always the subordinate that is super effective against the leader.
Except for one! We'll get to that one when we get to them. But we go ahead, the game begins to go in sort of a routine scenario here. You basically build up to go ahead and you build up your rank to go ahead and challenge the next trainer. You go ahead, you have Mega Pokemon to go ahead and subdue as well at the same time. You do both, and then you end by meeting up with the team again and having some croissant curry.
Okay, I believe at this point we were tasked with fighting... I believe before we fought Kanari, we had to fight 3 Mega Evolutions.
Mega Slowbro, Mega Camerupt, and Mega Victory Bell. Slowbro is kind of interesting because, remember, it's the big top version. And so Mega Slowbro basically is a tank that you have to deal with and make sure you don't get washed out under.
And some of those giant tornadoes of water around you, which is pretty rough. Mega Camerupt is an interesting fight. It will actually throw a whole bunch of explosive balls around that you have to destroy, otherwise it's going to cause a chain reaction.
So like that one version of the Titan fight.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Yes. See, playing MMOs helps.
Yes, it does. And
then lastly was Victory Bell, who basically puts a bunch of
poison dots,
poison wells on the floor.
Which, I'm going to be honest, Mega Victory Bell was not that hard of a fight for me.
It's not.
Yeah. But yeah, we do that, and then for the next round, before we get to the next ranked match, we fight against Beedrill, Hawlucha, and Bayonet.
Beedrill is a pain in the butt because it tries to go after you more than the others, and it will shoot pin needles at you.
Rapid fire, just like a huge wave of needles, and you have to run and roll, and just circle around the damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Bayonet makes clones that you have to go ahead and keep track of which one is the real one.
This is how Double Team actually should work.
Yes. And then Hawlucha will charge up and try to basically impact it with the giant flying press.
Yes, but if you manage to do enough damage before it charges up, it crashes out.
Yes. And you also have during these fights you have either Tanya Urbane, Lita, or Naveen helping you out as support, so they can actually soak up some damage and contribute to the fight as well.
Yes, which is actually pretty helpful.
And
they actually manage to help more than hinder.
They do, and even just as meat shields, they do good work. You also get some banter with them to where you find out Naveen's a scaredy cat of ghosts.
Yes.
Lita, of course, is very excited to work with her Pokemon, and Tanya and Urbane are just Tanya and Urbane. We do find out, however, that they are looking for someone else, which is why they have employed the services of Emma.
Yes.
And it has to do with the jacket that they are wearing.
Yes, that is true. They are looking for someone in this town that knows about them or has connections to them.
Right.
But they are having trouble finding them, and so that's why Emma is going about that.
Right. By the time that we rank up at this rate, we are rank E. We actually go ahead and find out that our promotion match is against Ivor of the Fist of Justice.
We actually encounter Ivor early on during the tutorial, and his dream is to actually tear down the walls of the wild areas and make it so people are strong enough to be against the Pokemon.
Ivor, you are an absolute idiot. N couldn't make this work, and he has thousands times more charisma than you. What the fuck do you think you can do, Mr. Himbo?
Power!
No, justice!
Power and justice!
Oh.
He is a grade A prime beef cut of Himbo.
Yes, he is. And honestly, I wouldn't mind his group if he wasn't so goddamn annoying.
I like him.
I know, and I like his theme, but honestly, like, of the trainers, he is my least favorite. Because he does fighting types so dirty.
Oh, come on, he is fun.
You do also fight against one of his disciples, a girl by the name of Josie, very early on, and eventually she also re-challenges you at certain points in the story. But the thing is that Ivor can't accept your promotion challenge because he doesn't have a phone. He is so himbo strong that any attempts for him to mess with his Rotom phone, he breaks it.
And so he has to rely on his sister Gwyn to handle the phone stuff, but she has apparently gone missing.
And Ivor, being the worried big brother himbo that he is, doesn't know what to do and has spent the better part of his days trying to hunt down his sister throughout all of Lumios.
To which we call upon Emma once again to help.
So we go ahead and we speak with Emma. We retrace Gwen's steps, and we find out that she has decided to go underground based on her trip to a nearby fountain, which is next to the sewers.
Yes. So, yes, we are going into the Lumios sewers / catacombs.
Which have a number of Pokemon hidden underneath there, and is technically an unofficial wild area in and of itself.
Yeah, and I like the Pokemon that you can find down there.
Oh yeah, you get
Goomy,
Litwick, Noibat, even
Skrelp,
which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Skrelp and / Dragalge is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 6.
We go ahead and we explore the undergrounds, getting blocked by various doors, which require us to capture a Klefki, but it can't unlock the gate. So Ivor punches it with his Fist of Justice
and blows it right off the hinges.
Well, that's certainly not going to cause any proper damage to bite us in the back anytime soon.
Hey, no one saw it.
Uh-huh.
No one saw it. It didn't happen.
So we continue going further into the area and come across a room where there's seemingly no exit.
But Ivor, in his infinite wisdom, decides to say, I'll punch a hole in the wall and we'll find a way through.
Only to find out there was no wall to begin with, but in fact it was an illusion.
And going through it, we encounter his little sister Gwyn, who we actually met at the Canary Quiz Festival.
She was one of the participants whom we beat out by thanks to Naveen's instructions.
We also find out that Gwyn is possibly in love with Canary.
She is more than a little obsessed with Hiroshi. But Canary actually kind of confirms this because she and G-Volt, as she refers to her, are friends and even has Gwyn show up on her streams at times.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more than just fandom at that point.
Yeah, so I'm going to be perfectly honest.
They have been shipped.
And I think it's practically canon at this point.
Yep, considering that also Canary is the one who basically gave Gwyn the idea to hide in the sewers, because Gwyn says she's tired of dealing with her brother's bullshit.
And I'm going to be perfectly honest, as much as I like Ivor, I cannot blame her.
So Gwyn explains to Emma as well as the player that because Ivor incessantly trains at all hours of the day, his noise keeps people up at night, which causes complaints.
Not to mention he's also doing the ZA Battle Royale even after dawn breaks.
So he continues to go ahead and get numerous complaints from all parties, to which, because Ivor's inability to operate technology, means Gwyn has to be the one to take the complaints.
And she's fed up with it.
So she goes ahead and refuses to cooperate until we battle her, and thinks that we're worth fighting her brother.
And she's a ghost type user.
Which is surprising, because eventually you do fight other Fist of Justice trainers who also are ghost type users.
Yeah, so the Fists of Justice are ghost and fighting type users. That is a weird combination, but I kind of like it.
It's also funny because you should know what her ace is, because she practically has one as a hat.
Mega Chandelure. This Mega is one of the best designs.
It is absolutely 100% extra, and I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, this is a Mega Evolution that actually... Mega Evolutions can either go from goofy, silly, serious, to epic. There's a wide spectrum of Mega Evolutions, and we get all flavors of them.
It really goes from a simple a simple 8-point chandelier to a massive double-tiered one that you would see in the Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And it looks absolutely fantastic, which is a perfect Pokemon to give a Mega Evolution to that deserves it.
Yeah, let me see. What does Mega Chandelier's stats look like? Ooh, its special attack is through the fucking roof.
Yeah, and they even improved its speed quite a bit, too.
Yeah,
So they basically buffed it in a way to where it's still beefy, but it can still move pretty fast.
Still fragile as fuck, though.
Somewhat, but by normal Pokemon standards, it's pretty good.
Yes.
Nonetheless, once you beat Gwyn, she's convinced, and she will go ahead and register her brother for the promotion match against you back at Fist of Justice HQ.
To which I recommend you do the fight at sundown.
Because boy howdy, are you gonna get a fight? Are you gonna get a butt whooping if you go in unprepared?
Yeah. Well, I mean, go at sundown for the aesthetics of it.
For the aesthetics of it. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm all about the aesthetics.
Yes.
But anyway, first off, Ivor's theme is a fucking bop. It's a fucking shonen bop of all things.
It is.
And his Mega is Mega Phalanx.
Mega Phalanx straddles the line between funny as hell and actually kind of appropriately epic.
Yes.
It basically assembles the little
Megazords.
It Megazords with one with 2 as the legs, 1 in the middle, 2 as a giant spear and shield, and then a super one as the head.
Yes. And this is what I mean by straddling the line between silly and epic. Also, have you seen it walking around?
No, I have not.
It is ridiculous. So you just hear the little tip taps of the 2 little ones going across, and it's just like, it looks like it's floating across the ground.
It does, but it is a really powerful Pokemon if you're kind of unprepared, and I would say that it's at this level that it's like, okay, you do have to grind your levels up a bit if you have been slacking on that.
Oh yeah, his Mega Phalanx, if you are not ready for it, will do a lot of damage. He's actually kind of tough if you're not careful.
Yeah, but if you do manage to defeat him, he goes ahead and concedes defeat with grace, and he's more than looking forward to seeing to battle you in the future.
Yes.
We go back to the Hotel MZ. We have more croissants curry, and then
we find out we're in debt.
Because Tawny, in an attempt to go ahead and get more residency at Hotel Z,
tried to basically get a loan from the Rust Syndicate to basically make a promotional video for the hotel.
For the tiny little sum of 100,000 Poké Dollars as the principal of the loan. What Tawny didn't read is that the loan accrues 1 million Poké Dollars per day.
Well, yeah.
In interest.
The interest is skyrocketing.
Which, Lita and you go down to Rust Syndicate HQ, and you get told off by Philippe.
Ah, Philippe, the muscle of the Rust Syndicate.
You mean the leather daddy of the Rust Syndicate?
Yes.
Because God howdy, that is a design.
Chainmail
shirt. He has spikes literally coming out of his beard. His mohawk is stylized as a gear.
You can tell this man is a steel type user.
Yeah. And gay as hell, too. I'm sorry. There's no denying that.
Yeah. Every single person I say says he's a leather daddy of some sort. But he also has an interesting Mega.
Skarmory.
I don't know what to think about this one.
Mega Skarmory definitely went to the Mega Caesar school of design.
I kind of like Mega Caesar more.
Yeah. I still think Mega Skarmory is fine though. I don't have an issue
I don't
with it.
hate it. I just feel like, why gold?
Because it's obviously silver before. We have to give it an upgrade. Upgrade.
Upgrade, of course.
Yes. Nonetheless, once Philippe understands that, oh, you actually have some gutsy. All right, you can go talk to the boss about your loan.
Yes. Oh, I should also mention that during the fight with Mega Bayonet, we actually encounter a mysterious person.
Mysterious person?
He goes by the name of L.
Oh, yes, that's right. So, we've encountered L by this point, who, spoiler warning, is Lysander.
Yes.
He has forgotten the rest of his name, and he basically is acting in the interests of Zygarde, who is the green-skinned doggo.
Yes.
And L hints that he is here to try and to be the messenger to try and prevent catastrophe from occurring again. Although it's very ambiguous, and he's still basically just wanting to see our progress as a mega trainer evolve.
Yeah. The reason I bring this up is because it becomes relevant again
later on.
But anyway, we defeat Philippe, and we go ahead and talk with the leader of the Rust Syndicate, Corbeau.
So, Corbeau as a design has a lot of drip.
Yes.
And everyone was saying initially that he is Carmine and Kieran's dad.
No.
Unfortunately not, but that would have been cool as hell.
No, he is too young.
No, not only is he too... There's a couple things. He's too young. The hair doesn't really line up as well as we thought it did.
Yeah.
We also know that through his backstory, which he alliterates later on, he is a native Colossian.
Yes.
And for all intents and purposes, he really hasn't left the States.
He has not left the States, and also Kieran and Carmine are literally from Kitakami.
Kitakami, which is Unnovan in regionality.
Really? It's Unnovan?
Yes. Because isn't...
it's
Sinnoh.
It's in the Japanese area of the Pokemon world.
No. Because Blueberry Academy is Unnovan.
Blueberry Academy is Unnovan, but Kitakami is somewhere around Johto and Kanto.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I believe it's supposed to be around.
Okay. In any event, basically we find out that Corbeau is basically was an orphan who was a recipient of some of Team Flare's charity programs, and that helped him get on his feet.
Yeah, because despite the Team Flare being, in the end, becoming
a death cult,
becoming a genocidal death cult, they actually were doing a lot of charity to try to help out Kalos.
In one of their best known exploits is that the Flare Cafe actually would not charge people who couldn't afford to go there for coffee and meals.
Yeah.
So they would actually be effectively like a little soup kitchen. And the Nouveau Cafe, which has 3 locations around Kalos presently, also carries that tradition, funnily enough.
Yes, it does.
Now, going back to Corbeau. Corbeau apparently started up, was basically a rapscallion, and basically fought against Philippe's former gang, either during the time in which Team Flare was in power, or after the power vacuum left by them occurred.
Yes.
But either way, Corbeau basically beat Philippe's gang to the extent that they eventually joined forces. And thus the Rust Syndicate is made up of Poison-type users who align themselves with Corbeau, and Steel-type users who followed with Philippe.
Yes. This is technically our Team Yell, Flare, Skull of the game.
Because these guys are literally the Yakuza.
They are the Yakuza. And they even do the Yakuza squat.
They do the Yakuza squat. They have the greeting by the entryway. Literally, Corbeau's office is nothing but fucking Japanese relics.
Yes.
But he basically threatens that he don't want anything bad to happen to Tawny and Urbane because they can't fill out their debt. So I'll let them worry about the principal, and you and Lita take care of the interest. And I'm going to put you both to work.
We'll get you to work in a moment. We've got Megas to deal with.
So we do have some Megas to deal with at the same time as we're dealing with this. Mega Mawile, Mega Babarkle, and Mega Ampharos.
Mawile is kind of interesting. It just gets out of the arena and just starts firing balls at ya.
Yes, just make sure that you know how to dodge.
Ampharos is fun. It's just a whole bunch of storm and lightning clouds.
I will tell you, to be quite honest, I did not see Mega Barbaricle's rage form. I defeated it too quickly.
Sadly, I had to deal with Mega Barbarical and its stanced up form. That thing is a fucking Shin Megami Tensei boss. Because when it powers up, it does rapid fire punches.
Oh, yeah,
and that actually killed me.
Oh, wow.
I actually lost to Mega Barbarical. That was the only one of these rogue megas that actually killed me.
Wow.
And that was because I was like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, I'm dead.
And you stood in front of the boss as it's doing its front-facing attack.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I need to roll. I'm rolling around the boss. It's following me. I'm dead.
Yep.
Instead, what I needed to do was roll out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we should be mentioning, as you defeat each of the megas, you also get their stones.
Yes.
And you can get stones from this. You get stones from Quasartico for turning in mega shards that you basically destroy around the city. And you can actually buy some from the Stone Emporium.
Yes, just like back in X and Y.
So the various jobs that Team Rust the Rust Syndicate has you do. The first is that they need you to clear out an abandoned building, because Pokemon have squatted in.
Yes.
And so you have to clear out a bunch of ghosts so that a student can go ahead and move in. What's interesting is that the place that you clear out is a former laboratory and includes a picture of Professor Laverton on the mantle.
I know. Actually, what I believe is this area is full of relics that were taken from Galar during, like, a previous war or something.
That they were just storage from the museum that they forgot to put in use?
Yes.
Awkward.
Speaking of history, there's also a museum in Lumiose.
A museum that has some optional side quests, but more importantly, has an entire exhibit to the prior game in Legends Arceus.
Yes.
Which includes, amongst other things, Volo's outfit, which is said to be donated by the man himself.
Which, that terrifies me.
Immortals are immortal for a reason, after all.
At this point, there are 3 immortals in this game.
AZ, L, and Volo.
Yes.
Good God Almighty.
Why is the Pokemon game making immortals lately?
Imagine if Volo is the hidden final boss of the Mega Dimensions DLC.
Oh god.
And we hear that fucking piano again.
I do not want to fight that fucker again.
Imagine fighting the fucker at level 200.
Fuck. I do not want to imagine that. I'd like to fight something different for once.
Okay, you can go ahead and fight God.
I did that last game.
The devil!
I did that last game!
Oh yeah, we did both, didn't we?
Yes!
I suppose then we'll have to find out what we actually are going to fight.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, after we finish that encounter, we are tasked with doing some dirty work by cleaning up the sewers.
Basically destroying all the mega crystals that are forming in there, which are basically going to be a hindrance to not only the sewers themselves, but the Pokemon that live down there.
I should also mention, after we cleared out the vagrant Pokemon, and after we cleared out the sewer, Corbro goes ahead and pays a visit to us every time.
Yes, and he actually starts to explain who L actually is.
Yes, well, as well as his backstory, which we've already given a concise summary thereof.
Right.
We also, after the sewers, we hear about apparently some trainers are being harassed. Yeah. To which Corbo tasks us to go deal with them, only to find out that there's these 2 weirdos in a fancy suit and a fancy dress who seemingly are giving Pokemon combat advice to a bunch of kids.
Yeah, to be honest, these people remind me of people who try to min-max their Pokemon stats.
You mean the annoyances on Battle Showdown?
Yes.
We find out
they are from the Society of Battle Connoisseurs.
The SBC.
We'll come back to them.
You do have to fight them both off. One is a Fairy type user, one is a Dragon type user. And once you run them off, Corbo comes to back you up and says, "You don't want to mess with us."
Yes.
To which they go ahead and get threatened off. It says, "You will, Lady Hyacinth will hear about this."
Yeah. Oh boy.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
But now we actually have some plot relevance, because as you finish up and Corbeau's giving you some kudos, apparently there's a riot happening down the street.
Riot happening down the street, where apparently a whole bunch of people are trying to harass Jet, the leader of the Quizartico Inc.
And Tawny, who happens to have been in the area. Apparently, a coalition against all the rising wild areas has
manifested.
And they intend to go ahead and take it out on Jet, who just came out of a meeting with the mayor, which is part of the reason why the mob is riled up. Tawny suggests that she get Jet out of there, while Corbeau volunteers himself and the player to go ahead and 2-on-1 one of the people from the growing mob.
I believe this is the only time there's an actual double battle with trainers.
It's not a double battle. It's a 2-on-1 beatdown.
I know, it is a 2-on-1 beatdown.
But nonetheless, you and Corbeau take out this guy and makes the crowd disperse before an actual riot breaks out, to which he commends your hard work and sees that you are willing to actually do what needs to be done to clean up the city, which he reveals is sort of the shoe drop behind the Rust Syndicate's operation.
They basically do the dirty work to make the city a better place.
And they recruit people through the means of malicious loans, not to actually get them to pay the loan back, but to get them to contribute to the city. If they actually go ahead and do what Rust Syndicate asks, he's more than willing to go ahead and forgive the loan and forgive the debt. But if you resist, well, they're gonna make you work for it.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes. However, by the end of it, it's revealed that Corbeau is our promotion match.
Yeah.
Next.
Which makes me wonder if he actually made it so he's our promotion match or not. Because the way he says it, like say, well, isn't that a coincidence?
I think given that he is sort of a child of fate in a sense, given the fact that he was taken out of obscurity by Lysander, and that he happens to go ahead and meet a trainer who not only can match him on a technical level, but also has the right mindset to help out the city. He definitely thinks that this is... I think it's definitely just a twist of fate, but he recognizes it as such.
Yeah.
Corbeau nonetheless is amused and challenges you to a fight in his own office.
Which is pretty awesome. The arena is probably one of the best in the game.
It is. It's up there with like the Terra restaurant in Scarlet and Violet.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, the one comment that I have about Corbeau is that he has a Gyarados on his team.
Yeah.
Which he carries out of respect for Lysander.
Yeah. And
then his Mega is Mega Scolipede, which is probably one of the favorite Megas of the game.
Yeah, Mega Scolipede is one of my favorites. It becomes a bug horse knight.
It becomes an armored bug horse.
Yeah.
It is like a charger of war, and its horns grow out so that way it can pierce its enemies with a mind destroying toxin.
By the way, the shiny version of that is fucking awesome.
I am trying to shiny hunt that bastard.
I can tell you how you can do that.
What's the easiest way that you found?
You know the area that has the Gorgeist?
Yes.
You just warp to the restaurant that's inside that area.
Oh, just warp in and out of the restaurant?
Just keep warping to the restaurant over and over and over and over and over again.
Got it.
Yeah, and then you'll either get a shiny Whirlipede. I actually got a shiny Gorgeist from that area too.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you go ahead, you fight Corbeau, and he, as much as he hates losing, he at least is happy that he lost to you.
Yes, he does offer to invite you to the Rust Syndicate, which, to be honest, I was considering.
We all wanted to, but he also admits that it was kind of a false choice because there's no way he would pull you away from Team MZ.
Yeah,
but
I'm like, come on.
Yeah, and literally, I have told you that I want to make a Rust Syndicate OC because of how much I like the game.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But there is one little caveat before we end off this little encounter, is that as we go back to to Hotel Z, who follows us but Corbeau, who insists on renting a room for the night.
Yes.
Which Tawny, while shocked, reluctantly agrees. He wakes up the next morning, pays his stay with 100,000 gold, and then has or 100,000 Poké Dollars, and then has Philippe show up, ask for immediate payment of the loan from Tawny.
To which, after being tipped that money, gives it to Philippe and says, "All right, the debt is settled." That is a fucking power move.
It absolutely is.
I'm going to be honest. Corbeau might be one of my favorite characters in this game.
He absolutely is.
Short King. Short King.
I was not expecting that out of you.
What? I mean, come on. The man is a manlet.
Yes. Yes. I didn't. You just didn't say it that way.
Well, I'd never say it to his face.
The only time I've ever heard someone say Short King is if they're taking it from him. But I digress. We go ahead, and that concludes that arc, which leads to the next set of battles and the next set of Mega Pokemon.
Well, the next set of battles don't happen quite immediately. Instead, we get approached by a maid named Liban.
Oh, Liban. So remember how we talked about the dude, because Liban is here on behalf
of Lady Jacinthe, or Jacinthe, if you want to be French about it.
Jacinthe. She tells us that we are invited to go ahead and attend a special event by Lady Jacinthe's invitation, to which we are invited to Hotel Richissimo. Richisme. To which Naveen says, hold on. If you're going to Hotel Richisme, you need to go ahead and at least be dressed for it.
Yes.
Which is how you get access to I forgot what the name of the boudoir is, or the...
Whatever it is. It's the high-end boudoir.
The high-end boutique. To which Naveen introduces us to one of the workers there, who gets us in, and we are given a custom outfit for the event.
We are given an outfit.
Tawny refuses because she wants to keep her mom's jacket on at all times.
Yes.
And she also explains the significance of that. Nonetheless, we are actually invited to... We get into Hotel Richissime, and we see that basically everyone else who we fought to at this point that's been a named character shows up. Gwyn and Ivor,
Tarragon and Canary, and Corbeau and Philippe.
And we are brought here by the courtesies of Lady Hassin, who is insisting on the super fantastic tournament de Jacinthe.
Yes. Le super tournoi de Jacinthe.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm trying to be as French as possible with that.
And so, let me ask you, what was your reaction when you saw Hassin? Jacinthe.
You know what? For
Fairy bitch.
Fairy bitch.
I'm pretty sure she would not like me calling her that, but the fairy lady.
I was like, oh, you are going to be a special kind of character, aren't you?
So, Jacinthe is very interesting because she is the literal embodiment of the Fae.
Oh, yes. If she was a Fae, she would be Queen Titania.
Yes. And so she organizes this tournament because she wants to fight against the very best and have them fight for her amusement, because she is a battle maniac.
Nimona, we got competition.
And so she explains that a tournament is to be held round robin style, where she is the final boss, except for the fact that we get a call from Vinny, who says that 3 more Rogue Megas have gone loose.
And so we end up having to leave the party, and I'm like, why? We can just do the tournament really quickly.
No, and to which Tawny says that the Megas take priority, and which we go back to Hotel MZ for our normal team meeting, upon which Jacinthe actually breaks the party and goes ahead and sits down because she wants us to go ahead and go back to to do her tournament.
To be honest, and also, this is actually one of the points where basically the entire group of Team MZ is sharing a single brain cell because they do not realize that she's there.
Commenting in the middle of the team battle and responding to her comments without actually seeing that someone else who is not a part of Team MZ is present.
She's using a fucking fake glamour.
To which she goes ahead and is questioning, why are you paying attention to all these Rogue Megas? Are they really that important than my tournament?
Yes.
And we are also given warning by Liban as we're leaving, is that you do not want to not give Jacinthe what she wants.
Yeah.
Because whatever she wants, she gets. One way or another.
She is the top of high society.
Yes.
And she will use anything in her means and money to get what she wants.
Yes. And so we go ahead and we are tasked with fighting
Frostlass, Altaria, and Venusaur.
Frostlass again as
the new Mega is probably one of my favorite Megas because she now looks like a Yukioni or whatever it's called.
Yes, Yukiona.
Yukiona. Yes, she embodies the Snow Maiden of Japanese mythology to a T. And of course, like I mentioned before, she summons pillars that you have to get behind because
to avoid an ice OTK.
Yes.
She's probably using sheer cold right there, if anything else.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Altaria does something similar. It leashes thunderbolts and tornadoes at you at the same time that you have to dodge. And Mega Venusaur summons plants, which go ahead and will give it health back if you don't destroy them.
Yeah, which is a little annoying.
I mean, I'm Fire-type user, so I don't give two shits.
I mean, I was using Talonflame at the time.
Mega Emboar really has the chunk factor to deal with the nonsense.
Oh wait, no. That was when I actually switched to Chandelure. I'm sorry. I was using Talonflame for the early half of the battle.
Got it.
Then I switched to Chandelure once I got that thing available.
Gotcha. But nonetheless, after each Mega, Jason appears by Holovisor and comments about, when are you going to come back to the tournament?
And she is insistent.
She the annoyance of all the party members.
And eventually, after we've defeated all of the Megas, we're like, okay, we can go to the tournament.
And only to hear that a battle zone gets procced outside of Hotel Z's gates to find that there is a pink battle wall surrounding the exit. All the battle walls prior are red.
Yes, and in comes
Liban and two members of the SBC to act on Jason's behalf, because she's going to fight you until you agree to participate in the tournament.
But we were going to the tournament.
You will have to fight them first.
But we were going to go.
And so you have to fight two SBC members, and Liban, who is also there, will heal you in between matches before you have to fight her.
Yes.
In which Liban drops her maid act, goes feral, and wants to go ahead and throw punches.
This was a surprising and welcome twist.
So, Liban goes ahead and challenges you as the sub-boss for the SBC, and reveals her ace of Mega Dragalti.
Yes, she is the Dragon-type user. So like we said before, in all the other ones where the subordinate was super effective against the...
No, the subordinate was immune to the boss's type.
Yes.
It's actually the reverse here. Liban is completely ineffective against
Jason's fairies.
Jason's fairies.
But yeah, she basically goes all out with all the dragons, and then when she loses, she basically she wants to fight again, but we're like, we were going to go.
Well, shit, you should have said that beforehand. And then she goes sulk on a rock while she goes and explains her backstory.
Basically, she lost to Jason a long time ago,
and in her battle, she made a wager that if she lost, she had to be Jacinth's maid. She got whooped.
She got whooped, and now she's... You can actually tell that she used to be a bit more punk, because she has actually like 3 piercings in her ears that used to have studs, but now they're empty. Mm-hmm. And you can... Oh my god, I love this design.
So, she very much has Zinnia energy, because she absolutely goes feral like Zinnia would.
Yes.
But the other thing that people have noted, and is one of the popular fan theories, is that Liban actually used to be a dude. The theory for that is that the punk trainers of X and Y used to look very different. The females had pink hair, and the guys had a greenish teal hair color that Liban also has.
Yeah.
And so there's a joke going that Liban was actually a trans dude who basically got hatched by Jason.
Yeah.
And is now living a conflicted life as a battle maid.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny.
It's also kind of fucked up. Because she is literally enslaved to this fairy woman and her mad machinations.
This is some high-level toxic Yuri.
Yes. And I think...
Why is this game so fucking gay? Oh, wait, we're in France.
Yes. So Nonetheless, we basically...
I gotta bring this up. There was a trainer in the battle mansion in X and Y.
Yes, who said that she used to be a karate maniac, and then she transformed into a beauty.
Yeah, and she says, quite the transformation, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, and
I need to go to France.
The trans jokes apparently are real, so...
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we satisfy Jison's... we give enough assurances to Jison that we will be returning to do the tournament, and so we go back and we basically have our gauntlet run where we have to go ahead and refight
Canary, then
Ivor,
then Corbeau,
and then Corbeau, and getting healed in between each time.
And just as we were about to fight Jison, in comes Zygarde.
And L, who basically comes bearing another warning that the end is nigh, that a great cataclysm is upon us, and that Zygarde wishes to test your progress as of right now.
Yeah. At first, Laban was worried that, oh no, Jacint is not going to like this, but instead, she's like, oh, how wonderful! This dog has the same interests as me in fighting this trainer.
And not only, because when you sign up for the tournament initially, you're required to take a special photo for the portrait. And so not only does everyone have to do this, she also does one for freaking Zygarde.
Yes, which is fucking hilarious.
However, we're not fighting the little doggo. We've already done that fight once before. We're fighting Zygarde 50%.
We're fighting the worm.
Which, yeah, that is an actual fight.
Yeah, although it's a very short fight, but is a fight, and the music starts revving up a little bit.
Yes, it does.
It starts to sound like the battle theme with Xerneas and Yvonne a little bit.
Right. But you managed to go ahead and beat Zygarde, to which L explains that he's at least content, or he's content with the trainer's progress, and explains that his purpose here is to gather the remaining Z cells.
Yes,
which I'm pretty sure is a relief to anyone who had to do that in Alola.
But that'll come back actually in a little bit.
Nonetheless, with that interruption delayed, we can now fight... Oh, there was one other thing. So, in the lead up to this, I had told you, I was speculating that, because even though Tawny / Urbane is looking for their mother, I told you, I was theorizing from the very beginning, that Lysander is their father.
Yes.
This has turned out to be... This is not the case, because there is zero interaction between the two of them.
Pretty much.
No one gave a shit about L except us.
Yep.
And Jason.
Anyway, cue the Electro Swing.
Yeah, this is a fucking bop.
Yeah, fighting against Jason is freaking fun.
This is probably the song you're gonna have to use for our intro for this.
Oh, really? I'm gonna have to use Jason's theme?
What other option is there? Ivor's?
I mean, that's true.
Ivor sounds better as the credits, though.
I mean, I might use both of their themes at different points. We'll see how it goes.
But either way, it is an absolute bop. It is the only song I play to when I do ranked battles. Yeah,
it is a damn good theme, and her team is actually surprisingly balanced, and it's kind of interesting. She's actually kind of a mad genius for how the tournament is laid out.
Yes.
She basically guaranteed that she would never have to fight Corbeau or Philippe, the two characters who could actually defeat her.
She also has her team statted out that if you use those types against her, she has automatic coverage.
Yeah.
Especially on her ace, which is Mega Clefable.
Which...
I cannot take that thing seriously. I'm sorry. It has a nipple hat.
It's a beret.
It has a nipple hat.
It's a beret.
It's a nipple. Also, it's the same typing as Togekiss.
Yes, it's now Fairy Flying, which means it can actually be hurt by electric attacks.
And it's going to go to the moon.
Yes.
Nonetheless, she is absolutely ecstatic that you managed to defeat her. And as a token of friendship, she goes ahead and gives you the fist bump.
A very elegant fist bump.
Oh, one other thing we forgot to mention about Jason's fadeness is that in each of the promotion matches, you can actually talk shit to your opponents. And you can do this to everyone, except Jason. You have to do you have only polite options when you're speaking to Jason. She is literally hacking the game to make you conform to her fantasy.
You must present yourself properly before the Queen of the Fae.
No smack talk for her.
No smackdown. You know, we are actually doing a D&D campaign together where we have to deal with the Feywild quite often.
No, actually, next session you are going to be doing the Masquerade Ball with the Fae.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just wondering, who has the balls to shit-talk Titania?
You are your character, and our other friend, the Kobold Wizard, are the only two who could possibly shit-talk Titania.
Really?
Yes, you probably would be the only two, because remember, one is her adopted daughter, one is basically a genie prince, and then the third one is the southern bodyguard for said genie prince.
Yes.
So I don't think any of those three are going to be the one. Actually, we know that the the southern bodyguard is not going to talk shit, because the last time she opened her mouth to Titania, she was promoted Queen of the Drop Bears. And no one is going to have an idea of what we're talking about, and it should stay that way.
Yes. Anyway, we are done with that, and so we go ahead and head back to Hotel Z for another croissant curry, although I really would have preferred the fine dining at Hotel Richesme.
Although apparently Naveen is finally starting to try it.
He's trying it. I believe he's just gotten browbeat long enough to actually give in.
Yes.
But anyway, after that, we get another round of Megans we gotta deal with.
We are also told right out the gate who our promotion matches.
It's apparently a person by the name of Grissom,
who no one has ever seen before.
Yes, apparently, because his promotion image is just him in shadow.
Right. And even talking to Emma, she's only heard of him in name and doesn't know who he actually is. However, why don't we talk about the Megas first, and then we'll talk about Grissom next.
We've got Dragonite, Tyranitar, and Starmie. And oh boy, Dragonite is a fucking fight.
Dragonite is a fucking menace, because his rage attack is literally... He does one of two things. He either targets you and does an aimed hyper beam on your ass, which requires you to spot dodge, or he will just say, fuck you, I'm going to target the center and make you take the back blast.
Yeah. And then also, during his enrage, he does Twister, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam. He does every single status.
Even more, he basically does the topped version of what Altaria did.
Yeah.
Next one is Tyranitar, who has sandstorms and rock slides and earthquakes as he just covers the field in bullshit.
Yes, he is a menace, but the true menace, the ultimate menace, is Mega Starmie.
I am still amazed by how goofy... Okay, so actually let's go back and talk about Mega Dragonite, because that is one of the new ones, and it was the first one that was released... And it was kind of lackluster, because everyone's saying, if you're going to do biblically accurate Dragonite, you could have made so many more wings.
Yes.
I've grown to it now, since then, but I feel like they could have done more.
The thing is, what you need is the Alpha Shiny.
I'm told that, yes.
Yeah.
Because now it becomes blue and it looks like a proper evolution to Dragonair.
Yes. That's what you need. But anyway, back to Starmie and them legs.
Oh. Everyone made the fucking SpongeBob movie reference with this thing. And I cannot get away from the allegations for this one. I know that it's a reference to Japanese aliens. I know
it's a fucking tokusatsu villain.
It's a tokusatsu villain. I know it's a fucking Earthbound reference in a literal Starman.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's goofy as hell. I cannot take it seriously.
I cannot take it seriously either, and that's why I love it. Also, there is a quest line during this thing where you have to bring a Starmie to a fucking cult.
And you also basically summon a comet down into one of the wild zones.
Yes, which gives you a moonstone, which is fucking weird, and it basically kind of confirms that Staryu and Starmie might actually be aliens.
Yes.
Which is fucking wild, because Clefairy and Clefable were already supposedly come from the moon.
Yes. They are the moon people.
Yes. And it's just weird.
Yeah. No notes.
Just weird. And now Lita uses a Mega Starmie.
Yes.
We should also mention that Naveen actually uses a Mega Scrafty as well now.
Mega Scrafty got some shirt tugs initially, but once people saw the designs, okay, he's just hood, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Because initially people were talking about the other white hooded thing that America is known for, but we're good with that.
I recommend the shiny version because it's purple.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So besides that, we go back and we end up, once we're ready to take on Grisham, Emma goes ahead and tells us to go meet her at Nouveau Cafe.
Well, basically, we go to Emma first to see if they know about Grisham. She has an idea who she is, but tells us we should go see Mabel at the Pokemon Center.
Mabel goes ahead and explains what happened 5 years ago with Team Flare, and that if you really want to go ahead and get to the truth of the matter, because basically what you're about to find out is state secrets, you need to go to the Nouveau Cafe and talk to the barista behind the counter.
And so we go ahead and do that, and we barely had an interaction with him.
You basically go there once or twice as part of the main story with Team MZ at certain points, but for the most part, they're pretty innocuous.
You deal with the barista more than you do with you deal with the female barista more than you do with the guy behind the counter.
But you're told to ask the male barista either about Yveltal or Xerneas, or ask about Team Flare.
Well, basically, you say, I want to order a promotion match.
Yes. And then he goes ahead and says that he won't fight you until you understand what he's fighting for. And which he reveals the male barista reveals himself to be Grisham, and the female barista is Griselle.
Yes. And you could tell right away that these people used to be members of Team Flare. They had the orange hair that they started to grow out and show white. You can tell from from the logo on their coffee truck that it is just the Team Flare symbol tilted to the side with a Nouveau N right on top.
Mm-hmm. And so they basically explain that Griselle and Grisham were both basically trained agents as part of Operation Gree, which was basically another sleeper agent program within Flare. But this one, they were going to be the wielders of the legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, and they were supposed to be the next generation of Team Flare, so to speak. They were brought in right around the time that Team Flare disbanded, and as a result, they were still given the stigma of being a member of Team Flare.
They also were relatively young when this happened, so they basically had no one to rely on but each other.
Yes, and so they started the Nouveau Cafe, and the Nouveau Cafe, like you mentioned before, offers coffee and snacks to those who can't afford it,
mm-hmm.
which is carrying on the old legacy of Team Flare.
But they also keep guard over the ruins of the Flare hideout.
The Lysandra Cafe.
And so before they will fight you, they tell you to go investigate and see what it is that they were fighting for, and how much AZ has not been telling them about what happened 5 years ago.
And so we do that, and we basically get a recap of the events of X and Y.
Not just a recap of the events of X and Y, but also we get to run through the damaged and destroyed Flare hideout, which has a bunch of wild Pokemon, including, I forgot what the metal one is.
Beldum.
Beldum and Metang running around in it.
Yeah, and there's an easy way to get a shiny out of them.
Oh yeah, that's a good shiny hunting spot. But nonetheless, going through that area, you eventually get told all the backstory of X and Y in case you haven't played those games. And it also explains that within Lumiose Tower itself
is another weapon
called Anje. This is actually what AZ used to bring back
what he was going to use to give the power of Mega Floette to everyone.
Right.
He was going to basically okay, so this is explained more by AZ himself when we go back to him. But basically, Lysandra shows up saying that he started to get memories back and that he is basically trying to atone for what he did.
He remembers that he was the one who fired the ultimate weapon.
And that's what's triggered Anje with the Lumiose Tower to start going berserk.
And which is causing it to disperse mega energy to random Pokemon, as well as bring them together because they're attracted to the natural energy.
Right.
Nonetheless, because this is all caused by AZ, Team Flare wants to hold him accountable for his part in their suffering, And Grissom basically refuses to fight you unless you agree to bring Mega Floette along to the fight.
Because Mega Floette is the thing that will be able to
stop or activate Anji.
Yes. And so they want to be able to stop it so they can actually show that Team Flare is not bad anymore, and that because they don't want to be bad. They want to help Lumiose. They want to help their people. They live in this town. They know the people's struggles and their problems. They want to help.
But ultimately, they still hold the grudge against AZ. And so you're brought back to go and deliver the ultimatum to the team and decide what your course of action is.
Yeah. And so AZ basically reveals that he built Anji as a means of giving the gift that Floette has to the rest of Lumiose. I'm not really sure what that means.
I'm pretty sure it basically because the whole thing is that not only is this Floette stronger than the average one, but also it wouldn't die the same way that Pokemon does. It in itself is pseudo immortal. It is, and that kind of blessing is what it wanted to pass along.
Yes, it wanted to pass along, like so the nation could grow beautiful and prosperous.
Correct.
Yes, but since Floette could never be found when the tower was built, it just sat there languishing.
Right.
And then now, after the events of the Ultimate Weapon being fired, it started to go haywire.
Yes. And so the party eventually decides that they can't let Floette fall into Nouveau Flaire's hands, and that they're just going to have to fight without them and basically fight for who gets to redeem the city.
Yes. I should also mention that before you enter Lyssandra's lab, you actually do have to fight Grizel, and she shows off a new Mega Pyroar.
Yes, she does. She doesn't think that you're worthy of the name, and therefore she challenges you to a fight at that stage.
Right.
So Mega Pyroar is also one of the ones that's considered derpy. I have since changed my tune about that.
Oh, really?
So the reason why Mega Pyroar has the floopy hairstyle, it's not just because of the fact that it's a kanji pun.
Yeah.
It's also reference to the dramatic theater in which they have those guys with the massive red hair.
Oh, the Kabuki actors.
The Kabuki actors, that actually is meant to represent a specific archetype.
Oh, yeah, when they do the hair swish.
Yes, and when they do the hair swish. And that is the same thing that Mega Pyroar is supposed to do, both for the protection of its allies and for the harm of its enemies.
Yes.
Which, again, also regardless of which version, which gender of Mega Pyroar you get, they evolve into this form.
Right.
In the same way that the Toxtricity, when it Gigantamaxes, it will go into the Gigantamax form.
Right. I should mention that this thing is really speedy.
So what they did with Mega Pyroar is they basically buffed every stat 20%.
Oh,
20
really?
points. Everything got buffed 20 points.
That's interesting.
Yes, so it's still kind of lackluster in comparison, but overall, it's still a fucking menace.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, you do fight Grisham at the end of that.
And he has a Mega Charizard X.
Yeah, he rocks a Mega Charizard X, which is befitting him as his status as sort of the
new Team Flare leader.
Mm-hmm.
And we beat him. He basically sighs and relinquishes
the dream of redeeming Kalos and protecting Kalos to us.
To which we agree with another fist bump, which apparently fist bumps are the show of camaraderie in Lumiose.
Yes, show of respect. And so the team goes ahead and makes it back for another meal of croissant curry, to which Urbane and Tawny reveal that they have just managed to get enough points to become rank A as well.
Yes.
And so during this, so it's going to be a matter of since both of them are now rank A, who is the strongest Mega user.
And so we will find that out in a moment. But first, an explosion happens.
Yeah, it seems like we finally had enough time has passed, and shit's about to get fucked.
The tower is going haywire. It's basically Lysandra says, it's basically undergoing rogue mega evolution of its own.
Right. And either it's going to fire off, or we go ahead and use Mega Floette to get it under control.
It should also be mentioned that basically AZ has mentioned that his Floette cannot evolve as a consequence of being revived with the ultimate weapon.
Correct.
And so Mega Floette is the only way to stop it.
Right. However, Tawny Urbane has the biggest derp of a brain cell moment here, and insists on challenging us for the right to use Mega Floette to stop Ange.
Yeah, and I'm like, I get what you're trying to do.
This is not the time for it when we are putting our life on the line here.
And besides, it doesn't matter if I kick your ass or not. You're still going to be the one who uses Mega Floette to go into the tower.
Yeah, so this is kind of a very bitter boss fight because of the way that they framed it. It is a fight against Tawny's team, which includes both the other two starters, but they will only Mega Evolve the one they are strong against you with.
Yes.
So if you get if you had Mega Embar, like in my case, she will only Mega Evolve her for Alligator.
Yes, and I love Mega for Alligator. It basically becomes a giant Totodile.
It's also a reference to one of the Kamen Rider series Revise, which its main morpher is that of a T-Rex head, in that exact style.
Oh, neat. And then Mega Meganium grows a whole bunch of more flowers along its neck and becomes a fairy type.
Almost reminiscent of Bird of Paradise.
Yeah.
And then Mega Embar goes full hog on the Emperor theme
and gets Nobunaga.
And gets a War Spear for his troubles.
He turns into Nobunaga.
No, not Nobunaga, because he's Chinese. Nobunaga's Japanese.
Oh, so Lubu.
Lubu, yes.
Yes.
But so, either way, once you deal with that, so apparently the deal is that you can lose this fight and the story will progress.
Yes.
If you lose, Tawny's pride remains intact. They get the right to go ahead and do that. You basically are rationed to go ahead and protect the city in case shit goes south.
And work alongside Zygarde.
If you go ahead and win, the rationale still becomes you are stronger than me. If shit goes south, you need to be the one to protect it.
Yes.
And that's why you need to stay behind and let me take Mega Floette.
Yes.
Which is infuriating knowledge of a tosser. I get why they had to go ahead and do an ass pull. They shouldn't have made it here.
Yes, I get that. It's weird, but what happens next vastly makes up for it.
So what happens is that Mega Floette takes Urbane and Tawny up to the top of Lumio's tower, and they attempt to deactivate it.
I should also mention that Mega Floette is basically the flower absorbing all the Mega Evolution energy and becoming a big flower that looks reminiscent of the ultimate weapon.
Have you played Shin Megami Tensei 4?
Yes, I have.
You've played 4 Apocalypse?
I've seen a playthrough of Apocalypse.
Have you recall Shesha?
Shesha?
The big snake line thingy.
I think so, yes.
You know how it's curling on top of the tower in the second phase?
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
So, nonetheless, shit goes south. Mega Floette basically rampages as it's being corrupted by Ange, and is basically about to go ahead and fire a nuke off on top of the city.
Yes, it basically becomes a giant winding tower of vines and steel as the old tower collapses, and the original, as the tower we've known collapses, and the tower within reveals itself. And what the hell? This is fucking awesome. When did Pokemon get balls like this?
I know, it's weird. Anyway, shit is going south as a bunch of wild Pokemon are Mega Evolving on their own, to which basically it's not going to be enough just for Team MZ to be able to handle this.
So we call forth another team meeting, but during the team meeting, everyone that we've encountered before joins up via Holotech and tells us and starts figuring out a plan on how we can get the main character to Zygarde, who is testing us at this last moment to see if we can actually get to them and handle this.
So the plan that is eventually discovered is that Fist of Justice, Ivor, and Gwyn will go ahead and help escort the player over to Dynamo, which is Tarragon and Canary, followed by the Rust Syndicate, to go ahead and escort you all the way to
Jason and Laban.
And Laban to go ahead and take you to Zygarde.
Yes.
And so basically it becomes a series of triple battles in which you and 2 NPC trainers are fighting against a random assortment of Mega Evolved Pokemon.
And these battles are rough.
They are rough, but they are doable. It is not that difficult. If you have 3 trainers, you will need to take advantage of them attacking the Pokemon as well.
Yes. So my method was to go for the one Pokemon that they were not super strong against, and take that one out fast, and then pincer attack.
Right.
Yeah.
The ones that we do get to see everyone's strength come out into play. Ivor uses a Justice Punch to go ahead and clear debris, or to go ahead and make a makeshift bridge for the player character to cross.
He does that with Mega Phalanx.
We get to a second obstacle, which the area is completely covered in construction, to which Tarragon and his construction company make the most elaborate parkour course to get you over to the next bit.
And Kanari's bitching like, you didn't need to go all out like this.
We're gonna go out if it kills us.
Gotta respect Tarragon for that.
Mm-hmm. Following that, you meet up with Philippe and Corbeau, who, unfortunately, because of all the chaos going around, the holovators that he used to get from the ground floor to the roofs are disabled.
And so, instead, they form a human ladder.
With Corbeau being at the very top.
Yes.
To go ahead and help you get to the rooftops.
By the way, if you fall off, he will bitch at you for that, and you had to do it again.
Yes.
It is very funny. I did not do that because that's just rude.
Yes. But again, the Rust Syndicate is just the Like a Dragon Yakuza.
Yeah, they are very fun.
They are very quirky, but they are very fun. In any event, you get with Jason and Le Bon, go ahead and do another triple fight with them, and then Jason uses her
personalized Jason
zone, and Rei is doing the little heart pose that she does to activate and deactivate it to trap all the Megas with her and Le Bon to fight it out.
You're not trapped. I'm not trapped with you. You're trapped with me.
Yep. And then at the very end, when you get ambushed by another group of Megas that you weren't expecting, who else but Team Nouveau Flare with Grissom and Griselle come over to go ahead and back you up.
Because we didn't know if they were going to help us at all during this, but apparently they were like, yeah, we need to help you. This is our town. We got to do this.
Yes. And then at the end of the fight, they even go ahead and offer you a coffee break to go ahead and heal you up.
It's so funny when they do that because Griselle is fucking fuming all the time.
Griselle has very poor customer service skills, but they immediately, when it's time to do business, both of them will show up with coffee and biscuits in hand like it's nobody's business.
Coffee break.
Absolutely fantastic. And finally at the end of this, you get to meet up with Zygarde.
And so L states that I have gathered all the cells that I could. 99 cells. We're still one short.
And which the one that's in your basket, which has been hiding the entire time, pops out and joins Mega Zygarde to make it Zygarde 100%.
The giant Mecha Colossus. I've never been sure how I feel about Zygarde 100% until now. My God, this is awesome.
Yes. And so now you enter into basically a pronged fight with Anje, the actual tower itself.
Yes.
As you basically have to deal with two fronds, an X frond and a Y frond, that do laser and area of effect attacks while dodging the Anje Tower's meteor rain, which Zygarde will actually fly down to cover you from. But it will also do attacks to the main tower once you weaken the fronds enough.
Yep, and so you take down the flowers, and then Zygarde will have you ask them to do a specific attack, 1,000 ways, 1,000 arrows.
And Core Enforcer.
Well, Core Enforcer is the finale.
Okay.
But I forget what the third one is. Zygarde has so many signature moves, it's kind of crazy.
But either way, you go ahead and you do 1,000 waves, 1,000 arrows.
And then on the third round, you're asked to use Core Enforcer, which is a fucking epic Z-Strike.
Right, which is the Z-Strike that only it knows in its full form. In doing so, Anje is seemingly defeated, except for the fact that it decides to still fire off the nuke anyway.
Yes.
To which all hope seems to be lost, except for the common pebble that we got way back in the first fight with Zygarde begins to glow.
We grip it tightly, and it reveals itself to be Zygardeite. I believe we basically helped make this thing manifest because Mega Zygarde was not possible in the past.
So there's hidden files in beta version, or there's older files locked in X and Y, where the common pebble was available, but no one knew what it did back then.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it was there, but no one knew that it was going to be. But there was no files for Zygardeite back then. So, but the common pebble was an item in X and Y in the files.
It could have been just a beta version of the core of the Zygarde core that you get.
No, because it had the same icon as the common pebble.
Really?
We know it.
Really?
And it also has the same item description as well.
Interesting.
So either way, it's hinted at least in the files of X and Y that it did exist back then, but was never implemented. Much like how Mega Floette's data was in X and Y, but never implemented.
Right.
Nonetheless, we activate Mega Evolution for
Zygarde.
For Mega Zygarde, 100%, which then turns all of its armor into a giant fuck-off cannon. And it probably has the hardest Mega move since fucking Mega Necrozma.
Yeah, instead of light that burns the sky, it's Nihilite.
Nihil of Light.
It's Nihilite or Annihilate.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so fucking raw. And when the cannon goes off, it shows X, Y, Z, fire!
It also is a Dragon-type move that ignores the fairy type disadvantage.
Which is so fucking cool. Like, seriously, I was starting to tear up at the end.
It goes ahead, takes the explosion raining down, nullifies it, and negates it as it harmlessly disperses around Lumio City.
To which, as AZ thanks us for doing this, and credits begin to roll. And holy shit, that is a way to end the game.
There is one thing we did forget to mention.
Yeah?
Before we go off into battle, AZ admits that he's not good at battling, but he wants to contribute anyway, and the party suggests that he make food for them, and he promises to do that.
Sadly, he does not fulfill that promise because after credits roll,
we found out that AZ passed in the middle of the fight.
Basically, whatever the tower was, it was probably the only thing keeping him alive at this point.
And when the energy dissipated, so did his will to live.
Yes.
And so he is buried in one of the empty plots in the
Lumios Graveyard.
Lumios Graveyard, which is actually a wild area early on in the game.
Yeah.
And you can actually go visit his gravestone and comment on it.
Yeah, there is actually an epitaph for him, and I was like, wow, Pokemon, you did not need to go this hard. When is the last time... Actually, when has it ever been shown that a character in Pokemon has died on camera?
Like, it has not.
Exactly!
The only thing we have ever gotten close to that is the implications of death all the way back in Gen 1 with the dead Cubone Mother.
Yes.
The dead Marowak spirit.
That is like... Not since Generation 1 has death been this prevalent in a Pokemon game. There have been times where characters have been close to death, like with Lusamine and the whole Nihiligo incident.
Or us with fucking Getsus.
With Getsus and Qrem. But it's never actually been implemented. Like, a character has not actually died on screen. And I don't know how, but they managed to make me actually give a fucking rat's ass about AZ again.
Yeah. It really is tearful. We will mention that there is technically some post-game afterwards.
Yes.
Aside from doing research, which is required to go ahead and get the shiny charm, one of the first things that you're asked to do afterwards is talk to Vinny because you have actually reached rank A. So Quasartico is obligated, both because you are the savior of Lumio City and because you fulfill the obligations of the the ZA Battle Royale, to receive your wish.
And so what we wish for is for the ZA Royale to continue.
And to continue to bond trainers and Pokemon together, which everyone agrees to do that. And so now the rules change a little. So
basically, every time you get a Challenger's ticket, you go to Quasartico, and they will give you a random character to fight against. Although I will say that the first 20 fights are all set in stone.
Yes. And so basically you do have to fight at least once. You have to fight everyone, the initial challengers that you fought, everyone from Team MZ, as well as all the named trainers that you've encountered beforehand, including Grissel and Grisham.
Yes.
Now, when your 15th battle
is against Tawny or Urbane.
Is always against Tawny or Urbane, who wants to go ahead and settle the score about the strongest Mega user. And to that point, Tawny and Urbane will actually use Mega Floette on your ass.
Yeah, and that little thing is surprisingly beefy.
It is powerful, even without its Mega Evolution, but she Mega Evolves it over her ace normally. Yeah. So that is definitely a big twist for you. However, after defeating it, Emma calls Urbane or Tawny and says that they've made a breakthrough.
And so we go into Quasartico Inc., and there it's actually revealed that Jet is actually Tawny or Urbane's grandmother.
And we're explained that apparently Tawny Urbane's mother was a scientist who worked under the employ of Team Flare, and that was responsible in the development
of the holotech technology.
Of the hollow light technology that's used for the Wild Zones. Apparently, there was at least a falling out between mother and daughter before the breakup occurred, and Tawny and Jet therefore never actually met Tawny and Urbane. At some point, Tawny's mother, their mother, was still doing work on this project even after after they fled from Team Flare. However, they began to get sick at some point, and it's said that they journeyed to a far off land until
they passed away.
Although I personally believe that she went to Alola, which is known to be sort of a health resort already, although it could also be Hoenn, which also has a similar reputation.
Yeah, we don't know the full details, but regardless, she got sick, she traveled to another region, she died, and
she left her jacket on her and told her about going to Lumio City.
Yes.
Where Tawny's mother hinted at finding Jet.
Yes.
Although didn't give explicit directions.
Yeah.
And Jet also has another revelation to bring up as well. After everything that sort of happened with the Mega Pokemon, Jet feels that she's no longer qualified to be in charge of Quasartico.
And so she offers the position to Tawny or Urbane.
Which is an initial shock to them, but understanding that they can do a lot more good by working with Quasartico, agrees and gives possession of Mega Floette to us, since they think that they need an active trainer for them.
Yes. And so, while I'm kind of wondering how exactly Quasartico will flourish under Tawny or Urbane, I can kind of see how they would try to keep the company within the family, so to speak.
But also that, given the recent crisis that occurred, giving the position to Tawny and Urbane as being part of Team MZ, as being
the people who saved Lumiose,
would be a necessary change in authority.
So I don't feel like there won't be as much issue with the transfer of power, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. It's also at least hinted somewhat that something in the Hyper Dimension in the Mega Dimensions DLC is going to also further this aspect of their story.
We will find out eventually. We might actually do a follow-up podcast on this.
Probably. I will mention, because we didn't talk about the side quests as much, each of the side quests has their own little narrative and reveals little bits about Lumio City. One side quest has you do a battle only with flying type Pokemon in a tribute to the Sky Battle system that was in that game. Another trainer battle has you fight against the strongest Pikachu.
Yes.
Which is obviously a tribute to Ash.
Yeah. And there is also a battle against the Furfrou Elite Four.
A Pokemon League that basically only uses Furfrou in their fighting teams.
And the champion has a shiny.
The champion not only has a shiny, but a full 6 Pokemon team of Furfrou.
And they are actually pretty tough.
It is actually one of the more convoluted side quests in the game. Now, if you get the Infinite ZA Battle Royale to level 20, and you complete all the side quests, you unlock a hidden side quest in which you can go back to Hotel Richissime, and Jason invites you to the
Infinite Super Tournoi de Jacinthe O,
which is basically nothing but fighting Jason
over and over and over and over again until you're fucking sick of the woman.
That said, she pays you a whopping 300,000 Poké Dollars and 30 luxury balls for the first time you beat her. I don't know if you keep doing that, you still get it at the end of the tournament.
No, you just get money. You just get prize money every time you beat her.
Okay.
So it's like, I think you get like 8,000 every time you beat her.
Got it.
So it's a good way to generate cash offhand if you just want to listen to some good music and kick a pretty girl's ass.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
As far as the rest of the... Let me ask you this. With all that said and done, what do you think about Legend ZA?
It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, I'll be perfectly honest. I was a little hesitant on there being a story about Generation 6. Because Generation 6 was such a mixed bag for me. It gave me some of the biggest highs, but also some really low lows. And so I was really kind of nervous about this game when it was announced, and then learning that the battles were going to be based on cooldowns and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. But given time and actually playing the game, I've learned to really enjoy it.
I also think that it's a definite step up from the Legends Legends system. But my issues with it is that there's two issues that I have with it. Number one, it's still a game cut in half because the Mega Dimensions game is again being sold as DLC, which a lot of people did criticize.
Yeah, I do kind of feel you there.
The other thing that is, it's not been as much of an annoyance as I thought it was going to be, but it's still an annoyance, is that Pokemon is also releasing certain Mega Stones via ranked battle rewards.
Yes.
Which requires you to get a certain level, which actually only requires maybe about an hour of battling online to actually get the stone rewards, and then anything after that is just extra rewards like bottle caps and apricot balls.
Yeah.
Which is actually very nice.
And also, I should mention that after one season passes, the Mega Stone reward from the previous season gets added to a lower rank.
Yeah.
So as the seasons go on, you can get more Mega Stones as time progresses.
Right. We also forgot to mention there are some points where you do get to fight Emma, and Emma Mega evolves the
Mega Malamar,
the Malamar that she got from Xerosic, which then becomes Mega Mind.
Yes.
As the joke has been nice to share. So far from the battle for the ranked battles, the Kalosian starters have their Mega Stones available from those events. As of time of recording, you can get Mega Delphox and Mega Greninja from the current battle. Mega Greninja was available at Season 1, and so both of those are available in Season 2. It's unclear whether it will last more than one season.
Right.
But the hope is that it would. And in Season 3, we were going to get Mega Chestnut.
Yes. Mega
Chestnut looks like a knight with a banner with double shields and a banner spear. Mega Delphox is literally surfing on a magic broom with fire and has two satellite mini brooms as orbiters.
And then Mega Greninja is floating upside down on top of a Mega Shuriken.
Yes.
Mega Water Shuriken.
Yes. There is one other thing I think we didn't mention, and I've only noticed this for a handful of Mega Evolutions. Certain Mega Evolutions will change the properties of signature moves for the Pokemon. For example, if you use Water Shuriken as Mega Greninja, when it normally fires, it fires in 5 projectiles like a typical rapid fire attack.
Yeah.
As Mega Greninja, it fires all 5 at once in a shotgun spread that home onto the target.
Damn.
So I don't know what the Delphox version of it is, or if that affects some of the other Pokemon. I have heard rumors that if you use Sunbeam as Meganium, there is no build-up time. It fires instantly.
Ooh.
So I would do some digging and experimenting and seeing what special effects the Mega Evolutions have.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a couple of YouTube shorts explaining the hidden details of Mega Evolutions. Oh, we should also mention that at the point of us making this video, there have been 2 new Mega Evolutions that have been announced.
Aside from Mega X and Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y.
Yes, which I love Mega Raichu X. I'm not sure how I feel about Y, but I love X.
Both of them are cool. They carry on the They carry vestiges of Gorochu, which was supposed to be Raichu's evolution, and so in a sense, this is kind of we're bringing that idea back.
Yes, which I like.
But the two Pokemon that were recently released as part of the announced as part of the Mega Dimensions DLC, Mega Excalibur, which now has more of a badass looking sword through it.
Yes, and Mega Chimecho, which actually looks like it's surrounded by a giant metal frame that looks like a Chingling.
Yep.
And has little wind chimes surrounding it. So, also I should mention, Mega Chimecho is Steel type now. It's Psychic Steel.
Ah, that's the favorite typing of Metagross users.
Yes, which will be interesting to see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm. I would say overall it has been a fun experience. I can understand why a lot of people were turned off by it. On top of the fact that it's technically $10 more for the Switch 2 version over the Switch 1 version.
Although, I will tell you this is the best looking Pokemon has ever been.
Yeah, as far as like it being in 3D, I personally still have a soft spot for the pixel art. But as far as 3D goes, pretty good.
Yes. So, given a ranking of... this is funny. Given a ranking from Z to A.
Oh, Z to A, it's definitely I would say definitely a B plus for sure. I still have some nitpicks about it. I'm curious to see what the DLC is going to add in terms of flavor, but I would say that it's definitely a good game. Definitely not for everyone. I think that if you're going to have issues with if I don't know what the performance would be like on a Nintendo on a regular Switch.
It's 30 FPS.
I might not recommend it.
Yeah.
But if you can get it on the Switch 2, I think it's fine. I think that it's a great 50, 60 hour time sink. At least not counting shiny hunting and not counting what the Mega DLC is going to bring.
Yes.
But I think it's definitely worth the time and money for it if you can afford it.
I would also give it a B+, and I'm going to be honest, I like these Legends games. I like that we have both a normal Pokemon game series, like Scarlet and Violet, X and Y, that sort of thing, and we have this new Legends series to go on to expand more on the history and details of the regions we go to.
I was kind of lukewarm because I did not like the combat loop and the gathering loop that they had for Arceus Original, because if you burn through all your balls and items, you then had to spend hours grinding that back up, which I thought kind of was a waste.
Funny, I never really had that problem. But then again, I picked up everything I could find.
Right, I was not nearly that. And I have issues with just some of the combat system. It's a bit crunchy for me.
Yeah, I think the strong agile system wasn't all that great.
I think that they found a much better form. My question here going forward is this. If they want to keep doing Mega Evolution, I think they're perfectly fine. But given that this is the way that they're going, they might do the same thing with Alola and explore the Ultra universe.
The Ultra Beast or the Z moves?
Ultra Beast with Z moves. Under which case, I could see them doing something similar to this with Alola, but I'm curious to see how they pull it off still. Either way, I'm sold on Arceus as an engine, as sort of it being like as a side series in the same way that you have Shin Megami Tensei and you have Persona.
Right.
I think the Legends games can run parallel to the Pokemon games vanilla. I'm just curious to see what they're going to do next in terms of the storyline.
Yeah, I completely understand.
Because I think, and we spoke about this earlier, I think there's a possibility that they might make some callbacks in the DLC to Legends Arceus. And if so, what are they going to be and how does it affect the story going forward?
Yeah, I can completely understand that. But all in all, I think it's a good game.
I agree.
I think I enjoyed my time there, and I'm probably going to go back to it and do some shiny hunting in a little bit.
Yeah, and of course, we will probably come back with our thoughts and recollections on Mega Dimension when it releases, and if they decide to do anything else, because in the recent past, they have done 2 DLCs. We got that with Armor of Isle and Crown Tundra, and then with Kitakami and Blueberry Academy in the mainline games. So if we were to get a second DLC here, I would actually be fairly impressed.
Yes. Although, we'll find out in the future because they're releasing the Mega Dimension DLC on December 10th.
And we initially thought they were going to save that for February of 2026.
Yeah, so the fact it's coming so soon makes me wonder what they have in line for Pokemon Day.
Right.
In February, so we'll see what happens.
Right. Until next time, this has been Leo.
And this has been Ray, signing out. Later, guys, and have a good day.